Hello aspirants, today we are going to learn about state, the most important concept about which everyone needs to learn that state. What is the state or country or riyasat? So for a state there are four basic elements, and without these four basic elements no state is to be considered as state. All the states in all the continents of the world who are recognized states must have these four basic components or elements. The first and the most important, that is the population, the people who are living, who have to live within a state. Their number does not matter, and either that figure is in millions or is in thousand or in billions, but there must be the population, the people who have to live within a state, and this is the first and the basic most important component for a state. The second important thing, that is the territory, the boundaries. These boundaries may be very large, may be small to some extent, may be straight or not, but there must be a territory. Either that is an international boundary or territory or a disputed territory, but there will be a limit. There will be a line to draw, that is to be known as territory, which locate a state. So in that specific territory, the number of people who have to live, these are the two basic requirements or the elements for a state. Now there is a huge number of people who are living within that territory, within that boundary, then there will be required authority, an authority or a government to rule over, to make laws, to execute those laws, to implement those laws. So third most important requirement for a state is the government or the ruling authority to rule that state, or to formulate the laws and to execute the laws, to structure the systems. That is the third most important element. And the fourth most important thing, that is the sovereignty, supreme authority, authority to rule, the ultimate authority. It has many types, either those are external or internal or many of, but there must be the sovereign rights, means to say a sovereign government will be able to rule authority. If the government has no sovereignty or authority to rule or supreme authority or ultimate recognized authority, then how that government can rule over the subjects or the population or the people or the citizen who are living within that specific territory. If we see the historical background of this state, so first of all, this word state was used by Machiavelli in his writing, and we have discussed in another video which is available on our channel, in which we discussed Machiavelli in detail, who is to be considered as a modern Western political Italian historian philosopher who used first time this term in his writings as a state name, who gave this term, who considered this territory and named it with the state. So about state, we have to discuss about these three Western political philosophers, Thomas Hobbes, John Locke, and J.J. Rousseau. These all three philosophers are also to be considered as social contract theorists, who worked and gave the theory of social contract, which will be discussed in another video, were agreed and convinced that the state must be ruled over. There must be authority to rule a state. Collectively, these three philosophers were agreed that humans need to be controlled by the state. State, the ruling authority, and the people who are living there. So if there will be no ruling authority or government, then how those people may live? So there must be a government or ruling authority, and the requirement of the ruling authority was also acknowledged by these Western political philosophers, Hobbes, Locke, and Rousseau as well. If we are talking about state, then we have to also mention a quotation by the father of political science, Aristotle, who said, "Man is a social animal, and by nature he is a political being." Means to say, a man needed to be live in a society, but at the same time he is required and needed to have a political entity, a state-based entity, an entity with a territory with a ruling authority or a government. So he also endorsed that this third important component of the state, which is the government,